Hi, radioactive people. This is another episode of the We Make Democracy podcast, and here we are with our first Swiss participant that will be our guest, that will be in our podcast, Michéle Häfliger. Hi, Michéle.
Hi, thank you for inviting me.
No problem. You're a very nice and sweet person, so we wanted to have you. Can you first tell me, how are you?
I'm very good today. How are you?
I'm very tired today. It was my birthday yesterday, so I had a lot of fun time the last night, but okay. Can you tell me more about yourself? So I know that probably a lot of people ask you, why do you study Eastern European studies? But I have to ask that again.
Yes, it's actually a question everyone here keeps asking me because they don't know how fascinating their region, like also the Western Balkans, which also is a part of Eastern Europe for our studies, are. And I must say that it's a very interesting region, not just from a historical point of view, but also the people, the culture, the languages. I just love everything, and I'm always fascinated and interested in all the different things that are part of this region.
So maybe there is like a correlation. Maybe that was one of the reasons why you applied for this project, but we'll get to that. What else do you do in your life?
I'm actually the president of a young orchestra. The kids there are aged from 8 to 20, and I'm not their director, but I just lead them. I make projects with them. We usually have a camp in the summer and one in spring, and it's always we always have a good time, and we can really do music together, but also like make connections, build networks, and to have a good time together.
Which is very important in the 21st century. Definitely. Networking is everything. Okay, but why did you decide to become an activist, or to be more precise, a youth worker?
Because I think that children are our future, and although I'm still very young, I think that I can contribute in terms of their growth. And
solid growth.
Yes, and I think that especially now in Switzerland we have huge problems with young people starting to play an instrument because it needs time. You need to dedicate a lot of work and love in it. And I've always been fascinated by music, and I think that I want to give that a part of that back to the young.
Just one quick question, what do you play?
I play the flute.
Okay, nice, nice, very nice. And now I have to ask you, why did you apply for this project?
Yes.
Besides finding fascinating or that part of the world?
Of course, that's a huge part of it, but I also wanted to take part in a project where you can really start working on something concrete, and that's also what I like here in Slovenia, that we got to create a huge project that in just a few days, but
yes.
I think it's a very solid and a very interesting, great thing that we could come up with.
Is this your first international project, or at least the first one that includes people from the Western Balkans?
It actually is the first international project for me, so apart from enjoying it very much, it was also interesting how we can work together.
Okay, did you have maybe some fears then before joining us?
Yes, I was actually pretty afraid that I wouldn't get along with the people, because I don't want to say that it's the culture, but it's also like the times we live in, because with all this COVID thing, and we're not used to being out there anymore, and I'm happy that we all got over it so well.
And did you manage to overcome maybe the cultural or language barriers?
Yes, I think we all did, and that's what I liked most of it, that we all became like one big family.
Yeah, but you decided to be in this first group that will dedicate its project to the non-formal education. Why?
Part of it is that I'm very interested in how people, or especially children, learn. and how we can also form them in a certain way, especially in non-formal education, which I think is a very important part of every child's education. And I'd also like to take something back from my own work with children back home.
Of course. And what would you say are the, let's say, the benefits of the non-formal education?
The biggest benefit is, I think, that they are out of their school context, that they can really, they don't need to learn or to study for a grade or just to make the teachers or parents happy, but because they can form themselves.
Mm. And can you tell me what have you come up with in okay, you had 3 to 4 days to figure out a lot of things, so what is the final product, to put it like that?
Yeah, so it was a short time that we had, but I think we came up with great things. So first we have this brochure, which isn't finished yet,
Okay.
but we're working on that, and we hope to be able to spread it in March.
Okay.
And then we're also having a Zoom conference in May with participants from all, with experts from all countries that are part of this project. And then we're also going to present everything on the final conference in Zurich.
And what are the main goals? Who do you want to reach out to?
The main, we would like to connect people, like building networks, but also provide them with stuff to do, how they can be active in this non-formal education context.
And to wrap it up, I want to ask you, what has activism brought to you? How maybe it helped you grow?
I think, especially considering this project, what is the thing that made me grow the most is to just go out there and do something, because I have never done something that concrete before, as I said, and I think it's just important to, even although there are so many things so many hurdles to take, you just need to keep moving, and you'll get to a point where it's going to be worth it.
Michéle, do you have any other message for the youngsters and our audience?
I think just stay motivated. I think that's the most important thing.
Thank you very much, Michéle, and I wish you a lot of luck with your project and everything that comes after this site visit.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you for coming, of course. Thank you, radioactive people. This is it. Bye-bye.